His charm is so contagious, vaccines have been created for it. Years ago, he built a city out of blocks. Today, over 600,000 people live and work there. He is the only man to ever ace a Rorschach test. Every time he goes for a swim, dolphins appear. Alien abductors have asked him to probe them. If he were to give you directions, you'd never get lost, and you'd arrive at least 5 minutes early. His legend precedes him, the way lightning precedes thunder. He is the most interesting man in the world. He has amassed an incredibly large DVD library, and it is said that he never once alphabetized it. If he were to mail a letter without postage, it would still get there. When it is raining, it is because he's thinking about something sad. The pheromones he secretes have been known to affect people miles away in a slight but measurable way. He once punched a magician. That's right, you heard me. His blood smells like cologne. His hands feel like rich brown suede. He is the most interesting man in the world.
The things you have heard about me are all true. It is true that I lived in a cave for a summer in the hills of the Serengeti after being gifted a wife by a local tribe's leader. It is true that I own 3 sports cars and write 5. And that I taught a horse to read my email for me. I almost broke the land speed record in 1977. Popular opinion amongst my team was that my beard caused too much wind resistance. I would have shaved it, except, no, I wouldn't have. Anyway, the women, they seemed to like it, and I was the featured guest at a charity bachelor auction that very night. It seems I recall that I brought in over 13 million lira, which was quite a large sum at that time. Forgive me, I digress. When I was first contacted by Dos Equis to share my acquired knowledge on their behalf, I was very excited. You see, I fell in love with Dos Equis after my short stay in a jail in Guadalajara. In fact, I returned every Thursday after I was sprung to play canasta with some of the guards. But I am no shill. I express reservations. I usually avoid the public limelight after my fling with the Princess Nukilani of Angola caused such a spectacle. But after being bested by Willem in a vigorous fencing match, it became clear to me that he was no man to say no to. So, I accepted. Of course, the 50 cases of lager he delivered to my bungalow didn't hurt. So allow me to introduce myself. I am, in fact, the world's most interesting man.
His snow globe gets 24 inches of fresh powder annually. Regardless of temperature, you can never see his breath. His turducken consists of a duck inside a chicken, inside a turkey, back inside the original duck. He has never relied on mistletoe. His New Year's resolutions would blow your mind. That's why he doesn't tell anyone. He is the reason those 9 ladies are dancing. One should never shake his gifts. Just trust me on this one. He is the most interesting man in the world.
I don't always drink beer, but when I do, I prefer Dos Equis.
Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly. Imported by Cervezas Mexicanas, White Plains, New York.
Stay thirsty, my friends.
The Aztec calendar has his Cinco de Mayo party chiseled in. The front of his house looks like it was built by the Mayans, because it was. The contents of his tacos refuse to fall from the shell. He can open a piñata with a wink and a smile. If you were to see him walking a Chihuahua, it would still look masculine. Several saints share his likeness, or vice versa, depending on who you ask. Dicing onions doesn't make him cry. It only makes him stronger. He has never filled up on chips. He is the most interesting man in the world.
I don't always drink beer, but when I do, I prefer Dos Equis.
Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly. Imported by Cervezas Mexicanas, White Plains, New York.
Stay thirsty, my friends.
His personality is so magnetic, he is unable to carry credit cards. Even his enemies list him as their emergency contact number. He never says something tastes like chicken. Not even chicken. He is the most interesting man in the world.
I don't always drink beer, but when I do, I prefer Dos Equis. Stay thirsty, my friends.
The police often question him just because they find him interesting. His beard alone has experienced more than a lesser man's entire body. His blood smells like cologne. He is the most interesting man in the world.
I don't always drink beer, but when I do, I prefer Dos Equis. Stay thirsty, my friends.
He's been known to cure narcolepsy just by walking into a room. His organ donation card also lists his beard. He's a lover, not a fighter. But he's also a fighter, so don't get any ideas. He is the most interesting man in the world.
I don't always drink beer, but when I do, I prefer Dos Equis. Stay thirsty, my friends.
He is the life of parties he has never attended. If he were to punch you in the face, you would have to fight off the strong urge to thank him. Sharks have a week dedicated to him. He is the most interesting man in the world.
I don't always drink beer, but when I do, I prefer Dos Equis. Stay thirsty, my friends.
He once challenged his own reflection to a staring contest. On the fourth day, he won.
Stay thirsty, my friends.
Some say he found the fountain of youth, but didn't drink because he wasn't thirsty.
Stay thirsty, my friends.
He wouldn't be afraid to show his feminine side, if he had one. His mother has a tattoo that reads, Son. At museums, he's allowed to touch the art. He is the most interesting man in the world.
I don't always drink beer, but when I do, I prefer Dos Equis. Stay thirsty, my friends.
His words carry weight that would break a less interesting man's jaw. He's won trophies for his game face alone. He bowls overhand. He is the most interesting man in the world.
I don't always drink beer, but when I do, I prefer Dos Equis. Stay thirsty, my friends.
His reputation is expanding faster than the universe. He once had an awkward moment, just to see how it feels. He lives vicariously through himself. He is the most interesting man in the world.
I don't always drink beer, but when I do, I prefer Dos Equis. Stay thirsty, my friends.
People hang on his every word, even the prepositions. He could disarm you with his looks or his hands. Either way. He can speak French in Russian. He is the most interesting man in the world.
I don't always drink beer, but when I do, I prefer Dos Equis. thirsty, my friends. Be wary of a woman who only shows up when you are winning. Stay thirsty, my friends.
See those nuts? They're there to make us thirsty. While I don't like being coerced, in this case I shall make an exception.
Stay thirsty, my friends. I have no idea what this is. Stay thirsty, my friends. I have no idea what this is. Stay thirsty, my friends. Unless your drink is expecting rain, you should probably reconsider. Stay thirsty, my friends.
The right look should suffice.
Stay thirsty, my friends.
I assure you, most women would not consider speed a virtue.
Stay thirsty, my friends.
Running in place will never get you the same results as running from a lion.
Stay thirsty, my friends.
The after party is the one you want to attend.
Stay thirsty, my friends.
Fellas, leave the tight pads to the ladies. If I can count the coins in your pocket, you better use them to call a tailor.
Stay thirsty, my friends.
It's never too early to start beefing up your obituary.
Stay thirsty, my friends.
No.
Stay thirsty, my friends. It doesn't take more than one person to talk to a woman. Stay thirsty, my friends.
Find out what it is in life that you don't do well. And then don't do that thing.